Welcome back, and great job taking a look at your life buckets and really being honest with yourself about where you want to go and where you are. The rest of our work will be around how do you get from where you are to where you want to go, and how do you start to create so much momentum in a short period of time that you're like that train on the train track that is like got its pistons firing and its engine going, and it takes a while to warm up that train. In fact, it's very difficult to move a stopped train. As you know, you can actually keep it in place with a 1-inch brick, right? But when that thing starts to get some momentum and those pistons start firing and the engines start warming up, once it starts barreling down the track, you and I both know you better get out of the way because you can't stop that thing. And so that's our goal here, is to get you so much upward and forward motion and momentum that as you enter your second quarter, this next quarter, you are absolutely unstoppable like that freight train, okay? So the rest of our work will be about how do we get your engines warmed up, your pistons firing so that you can start barreling down that hill, right, towards the things that you want. So as you take a look at your 5 life buckets, before we start digging in and really looking at the how, the very first step that is the most important is actually connecting where you want to be a year from now with your personal identity. So stay with me here. If you are, for let's say extreme circumstances, okay, you are in $100,000 worth of debt, okay, and you want to get out of that debt, and in 1 year from now you would like to pay off 10% or $10,000 of that debt, okay? So in order to make that a reality, you will have to change your spending, savings, and income behavior. You know, it might mean that you would need to take on a second job, right? Or start a side business. Or it might mean that you have to give up a Starbucks habit. Or it might mean that you need to finish your master's degree so you can get a raise at work. Whatever that is, right? There's a number of different ways that you can make that happen. And in order to do that, you will have to change how you look at money, how you spend your time, all those pieces. And so you really want to think about, if I am going to pay off $10,000 worth of debt this year, then I am going to need to become a person who is financially savvy. I'm going to need to become a person who starts a second job. I'm going to need to become someone who has a master's degree. And I know this sounds really kind of hooey-fluey, but it's really important to begin to think of yourself as someone who does these things. And so if you imagine in your head, like if I was debt-free and I was really financially savvy, who would I be? How would I think? What would I act like? What would be my daily behaviors? And really start to get into your spirit and soul, what that needs to look like for you, who you need to become in order to make that happen. So step 2 is I want you to take your 5 categories and the sentence that you've written about yourself, and I want you to fill in the blank. For me to have this, I must become fill in the blank, okay? Once you do that for your 5 categories, move on to the third video.